Hello everybody, my name's Anthem. Welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron for Kaiserreich. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So, there is a war going on, as you may know, in the Ottoman Empire. And we have a bit of a weird decision, which is whether or not we want to actually get involved. We could just declare war on the Ottomans right now. Grab maybe some juicy territory for ourselves. I mean, it's an idea for sure. Because if we were to, join the war, we would be able to immediately, where is it in here? Immediately invite Persia into the alliance. Which, I mean, sounds good. That sounds good to me. I don't know about you. So, I also might be reading this wrong. I'm not too sure. So what we can do, because we can't declare war directly, but we'll get ourselves. We'll just join the war, man. I think. I don't think we're really gonna get any real penalty for being at war. And it's an offensive war too, so it's not even that bad, right? Or actually, it might be an offensive war because I think is Armenia defending or attacking? Armenia is technically attacking. So actually, we do get some penalties, but it's honestly not that bad, I would say at least. So we have our army led here by Alexander Kutapov. And we're just going to put them right here. They're going to move their way straight down into the south. And I mean, they should be. They already got full support of the Air Force as well. So I mean, they should be pretty happy. Okay, so we cannot invite you. Okay, so Persia actually needs to be at peace as well. So okay, maybe we have to wait a little bit longer than I would have thought, but that's okay. If that's the case, then you know what? Let's organize. Starting compliance will be higher. Upon the starting the war with the Ukrainian state, they will affect their national spirit that reduces war support and recruit population. I mean, that sounds good. Free Belarus in free Russia. Declaring war on by Ruthenia will heavily damage force in Mogilev. I mean, all these do sound really, really nice. Increase the chance of a coup. So, let's first go with incite anti-Germanism in Ukraine. We're already getting army commissars. They'll be there soon. And I think I want you guys on the front lines ASAP. We'll get a non-aggression pact with the Egyptians. I think that makes sense. And I'm not worried. I mean, the world tension didn't even increase right now, which I think is good for us. And I think you just kind of go for it, man. Non-aggression pact. We'll have resupply bases. All that sounds great. Very offensive. Just kind of go for it, man. Move our way down south. Monarchies return to Greece. I could not care even a little bit about that. Persia's accepted. The Persian-Russian relations suffered during the past years of a magnificent city of Ashgabat remained in a point of contention. This largely Russian city in the middle of Turkmen countryside is to the endpoint a Transcarpathian railway, and ended up in Persian control in 1929 as Kievan warlords Junat Khan took over the Transcarpathian Oblast in the chaotic aftermath of the New York coup in Moscow. This is your part of Russia, the city of Ashgabat, and its Russian citizens run under Iranian protection ever since. But now we possess this region again. So is that you? Hey, look at us go. It becomes the region of us, which looks horrible, but that's okay. And the day of the Ice March. There are two commemorative days for the Civil War. The 31st of August, celebrating liberating of Moscow, and the 22nd of February, remembering the start of the Kuban Ice March. The liberation is a happy celebration, with upbeat military marching songs and grand displays of strength through Moscow. But the day of the Ice March is more melancholic, remembering sacrifice and hope. In the frosty February cold, the commemorative march is organized from Rostov to Novochersk, including legendary colored regiments. The black and red Kornelites, the Drozdovites in their crimson caps, black striped Markovites and Alexandrovites in white and blue. Those who took part in the original march are guests of honor, both in Rostov and Novochersk. There are great crowds following the march, though it is not a jubilee, but a solemn occasion. The official history of the Ice March, written by General Denikin, is often quoted on this day. As long as there is life, as long as there is strength, not everything is lost. Russia will see a light flickering faintly. She will hear a voice calling for the fight, those who have not yet woken up. This is the whole deep meaning of the first Kuban campaign. There is no point in approaching it with a cold argument of politics and strategy, as it is a phenomenon in which everything is in the realm of spiritual and the feat of being accomplished. The volunteer army walked across the free steppes of Donakubin, small in number, tattered, hunted, surrounded, as a symbol of the persecuted of Russian and Russian statehood. In the entire vast expanse of the country, there's only one place left where the tricolor national flag openly fluttered, and this was Kornilov's headquarters. 2% war support. Well, let's see, actually, I want to see, how much stuff do we actually have in storage right now? We're still down a lot of artillery pieces, huh? If that's the case, let's increase... Put you up to 5, maybe. We'll take you down by 1. I'm going to put 2 more infantry. Throw another 2 tanks on both of you. Probably the Marines are fine. Again, the Marines are mainly going to try to go for like some sort of naval operation into Sweden. I don't know how well that actually will work, but that's my plan. We could also do another point here as well. Coordinate with the Polish. We'll strengthen the Polish nationalists. Are you in a faction right now? You are. Let's support Free Belarus as well. I think those are like the main 2 fronts, so I think it makes sense that that'd be who you want to kind of go for the most. And I'm still trying to think if we want to send another army into the Ottomans. My gut says no, that we should be fine with where we're at. Let's see, your supply lines. We have 1 Irzium. We can go down to Savas. And our volunteers have come home, which is great. We're going to send 2 of them to the front line immediately. We'll send you 3. I think that seems reasonable. At least I would say. So let's go take Aleppo, and we'll go take the port here as well. How are our allies doing? And Nej is not doing fantastic. I think Syria is doing significantly better than you would otherwise maybe expect them to do. So I appreciate that. Now, I don't think... I don't think that the Egyptian can join our faction, as nice as that would be. You know, in a hypothetical situation here. Go take Ankara. Now, the question for me as well is, would we continue fighting after the Ottoman surrender? I think the answer is probably no. That will probably, when they give up, we'll probably call that a day. Also, I want to get military access through you, just so it doesn't frick up our borders a little bit. I mean, you guys are looking fantastic. Like, the war in the desert is not supposed to have this. I don't even know why Armenia joined our faction. You would have thought that they would need to be at peace in order for that to happen, but I guess not. And you know what? I am not going to complain about it even a little bit. This Ottoman troop is now, yep, been overrun. And what I'm hoping as well is that this should create basically a Ottoman that can join the Germans, which is going to be great. Or if Turkey does end up aligning themselves with Germany, they're going to be like so weak and pathetic that they're not really able to go to do anything against us, you know, when the time actually comes. Okay, non-aggression pacts with Syria and Nejd. Insulindia. Okay, that's actually an interesting question. Obviously, we can't just send forces right now. And Insulindia, I don't believe can join us. No. However, they would... I mean, there's a chance they join up with Germany or with Japan. I don't know how likely those actually are to materialize. But it is something that we do need to kind of keep in the back of our heads. Okay, well, the war with them is over. And apparently that does not actually end the war against the Ottomans for us. Okay, then. Wait, does that mean in Persia we can invite them then? Oh, no, they're not at peace because they're still fighting Azerbaijan, right. Okay, so apparently the whole worrying about Turkey situation is actually a moot point because it's, I think, just broken. Sorry, Ottomans. I didn't think that this would happen to you. But this is just the way that the Kaiserreich gods have demanded it to be. Let's just move to Constantinople. Yeah, so this isn't typically how this situation is supposed to play out. The Cairo Pact has been triumphant, with rebellion after rebellion, defeat after defeat, and the various states seeking to carve out what they see as theirs from the Ottomans. Abdul II has finally had enough and decided to end the Desert War, recognizing the reality of the situation. With it, new states have been born, opening up potential alliance opportunities with like-minded regimes in the region. 15 power rejection. Okay, fantastic. We actually really want that. Aid to Iran. I don't think we need to do aid to Iran, because they're going to join us no matter what afterwards, so we should be good. Aside from that, let us... What do you do? Intelligence bonus against the Baltics. Let's go with 1 for supporting the Lithuanians. Society of Friends of a New Russia. It may sound paradoxical, knowing what we think and speak of Germany's hegemony over Europe, but not everyone in the German Empire sees our third Russia with revulsion and fear. A handful see it as an example to follow. Dismayed with the sterile, pseudo-democratic monarchy of their home, a handful of activists within the most extreme German far right have established the Society of Friends of the New Russia, a study group which intends to research our new third-way system. They are planning lecture events, publication of the party's foundational text, and, if the situation allows, even trips to Russia to witness it firsthand. The chairman of the society is Gregor Strasser. It's a small working committee consisting of Arthur Moeller von den Broek, Edgar Jung, Hans Freyer, and Hans-Heinz Ewers, an idiosyncratic collection of right-wing ideologues, writers, and offbeat philosophers who found the Fatherland Party either too moderate or too archaic for their taste. Many of the ordinary members, as well as Strasser himself, belong to the minuscule German Socialist Party, led by Julius Streicher. This society is politically irrelevant, but perhaps there is a point in leaving it be, and even organizing some coupled trips to our more advanced new industrial complexes. If the impossible happens one day and we are required to occupy large parts of Germany, we may find collaborators somewhere. They are useful idiots. Fantastic. If you are a useful idiot, let me know down in the comments below. Okay, we're going to send this cavalry division again. We're going to have you try to take Constantinople, please and thank you. What do you capitulate at, Ottomans? Capitulate at 46%, because you're not having the modifier due to being in the Desert War. Do a committee for Poland. I think that sounds good. And I'm hoping that, is there anything actually, is there in here about, yes. Describes the Ottoman Empire subject. Okay, so we can actually do Friends of the Empire afterwards, which I think will be really nice. And actually the question here is, like, do I just save up to 10 days? So I think the war will be over in 10 days. My gut answer is no. The new brother, Germany's not exist, or the old enemy. Preemptive war. Will this get bypassed? Okay, this will bypass automatically. Chinese gamble, 21 days. 28 days. You know what, let's just do progress into steps, and then we'll try to get some allies in the Middle East. The Army Commissars. The institution of military commissars has a controversial legacy in Russia. Commissars, alongside revolutionary or assault battalions, were one of the few attempts under the provisional government in 1917 to maintain discipline in the fighting spirit of the army. Indeed, a sizable portion of the SSR elite can boast credentials as former front commissars, including Maximilian Falenkio, Karl Vendovsky, and Boris Savikov himself. Nevertheless, the post of army commissar disappeared in the White Armies, though its connection with the Bolsheviks lingered. It is no surprise, then, that the rebirth of the commissars is led by euphemism. A strong presence of the SZRS in the ranks of lower officers and enlisted men is inextricably linked to the formalization of so-called instructor volunteers. Elected by their peers, the instructor volunteers were initially suppressed by Army Command as an unacceptable politicization, but have since seen a resurgence with the rapprochement between the Army and the SZRS. Infamously conservative as it is, the Stavka has come to begrudgingly accept the new commissars under the condition that they largely restrict themselves to the lower ranks, and their duties do not extend further than maintaining the spirits of the corps and organizing enlistment drives. These limitations, however, have not been taken well by many within the SRS. Karl Vandovsky has himself acted as de facto party commissar for years, remains insistent that the position of instructor volunteers is not only formalized, but superseded by an army-wide system of commissars. These deputies for ideological matters would undoubtedly face opposition from the Stavka, but Vanovsky insists that the benefits of military fighting spirit and political indoctrination, saying nothing of party supervision, vastly outweighs the risk. Keep the army happy. Racer goes down. What's military anger at right now? It's like 4. There we go. We'll make the army a little bit more upset. It's not that big of a deal. Muscat has been annexed. Excavation 3 has completed. So what are we looking at right now? 273, 223. Artillery upgrades, again, yeah, artillery upgrades are always cheap. We'll definitely take one of those. And controlling the Ottoman Empire is going to be really, really nice. Yeah. Again, this wasn't really supposed to be the way this all went down. If I pass, do I get more points? No. Actually, no, I do get more points. Let's take your let's take your navy as well. Hell yeah. Look, if anything, this isn't cheating. This is just getting like it's like a repayment for all the pain and suffering we've had previously. Okay, so you're now all finished. Lander support, invade Azerbaijan, has completed the preemptive war. Is that a thing in here? It is. The preemptive war is just the war. So I don't know if I would say that it's preemptive. You know, actually, we have 6 days on this. We can actually cancel you. And do the Ruins of the Empire. See if you can maybe get some more allies. And now, these lovely divisions. Colonel Autocrats. You're led by Zveno. Zveno is usually pro-Russian, right? Am I wrong on that? I don't even know where to put these divisions, honestly. Probably put you in, like, southern Ukraine. I think seems reasonable. And then we need to release the Ottomans. Fate of Anatolia. Let us create a new Turkish Republic. Ashgabat. Give this to Turkestan, because those borders look absolutely dreadful if I don't. We have like 20 days on you. Troops are going to go back home. Fantastic. And what about the Navy situation? Are they you? I don't know which fleet they actually belong to. All states that cannot be claimed or core will have a 40% resistant target as long as they continue to occupy them. Cyprus. Is Cyprus new? I feel like they didn't actually... Yeah, we'll liberate Cyprus. No, they've always existed. I know what I'm talking about. Well, okay, well, give it to our Turkish allies. Obviously, Greece is not an ally of ours. So why would I help them out right now? And on top of that, we want more military factories, please and thank you. And let's send you up to 20. I'm going to say up to 10. Honestly, we need a lot of artillery. I'm surprised by how much artillery we need, but we do need a lot. Basic light. Why are we making any basic lights? When we have the improved lights here. In fact, we need to get better medium tanks. Do I have better medium tanks? I feel like we researched them, didn't we? I guess not. Okay. I thought we did, but we did not actually do that. We'll send you to 10 as well. Trucks numbers, I think, are looking okay. Planes are still looking good. We are, again, when we get our better plane upgrades, we will switch those over immediately. Constantinople. We'll give that to Turkey as well. I'm surprised that we don't have a decision to kind of keep it for ourselves. You know, I feel like Constantinople would be something that we kind of have an interest in. But I guess if it's an ally, it's a puppet state, it still kind of works out for us in the long run. The nature of the Kurt von Schleicher regime. Funded by the 5th Department of the General's Chief of Staff of the War Ministry and written by General Peter Glasnap, a new report has been released. Its aim to educate the Duma on the long-term goals and plans of the Kurt von Schleicher Chancellorship and make recommendations based on those findings. Even for the hated Germans, the intelligence on the Schleicher regime paints a potential grim and shocking future. One key aim is well known for both Germany and Russia, the creation of the Wehrstaat, or the military state, which will adequately prepare the Heer for war. This is to be carried out by the latest by 1941, and when it is expected for the Germans will be able to significantly outnumber and outproduce their enemies on the European continent. Most worrying are the Eastern plans. One top secret goal of theirs is to aim to subjugate their Eastern client states further and expand the Wehrstaat. This will be done with no regard to civilian population in those states. Furthermore, assuming any form of non-compliance from Ukraine, Belarus, and Poland in particular, the overthrow of their governments is to be assured, and a German commissarial regime will be heavily considered. If there's any positive sentiment on the Russian political scene, on the Russian political scene left, the publication of these findings has thoroughly destroyed it. Russia's mission is now clear: to save Eastern Europe from German militarization and colonization, and a challenge that hairs arrogance and disdain for peace. Can we not send those into, into Eastern Europe? I feel like that'd be something that we maybe want to send their way, if at all possible. Okay, you'll be finished very, very, very soon. We're going to pull this army back to... Nope, that's the wrong army. I had to change these colors. Let's actually make you blue army. And let's shrink blue army to here. Make sure they're all along Germany, or along Ukraine. How many troops do you guys have? You had 18? I mean, again, we could start deploying units. We have 16,000 guns now. Holy. Oh, I was not prepared for that. You guys need support equipment, huh? Because you are... I mean, you're the better units. You got some artillery pieces. You're the more basic. Honestly, give me some more basic infantry. I think that'll be nice. And the history of the protocols of the Elder Zion. Okay, there's actually 2 events here. We'll read these 2 and then we'll call the episode. The now infamous anti-Semitic fabrication first surfaced in Russia in 1903, and soon became widely circulated as a justification for pogroms. The protocols claim a global Jewish conspiracy, infiltration by Jews into the Christian societies, and conspiring with the Freemasons. Their plan is to take control of the world economy. The conspiracy was quickly used to explain all the woes of the Russian Empire, the Russo-Japanese War, and the revolutionaries of 1905, 1917, and 1918, chiefly spread by the Black Hundredth organizations. The text raised controversy already in 1903, and critics of the authenticity have pointed to the vagueness and lack of sources given in the protocols. Eventually, Peter Stoypin's government banned circulation of the text as a fabrication, citing that it's a good cause cannot be defended by false means. This did little, as the protocols were spread during the Civil War as part of the white movement's propaganda against the Bolsheviks, and eventually spread to other parts of Europe as well. By the 1930s, it has been generally accepted that the protocols are a fabricated text, but they are still used by anti-Semites, often arguing that the historical facts of the protocols may be unproven. It does not make it the main argument false, and the fact that the October coup even proved the conspiracy. It seems that the lie is a terrible situation to eradicate. An old friend, the old enemy. Taxation of sales of vodka remained one of the major sources of state income from Russia ever since the day of Tsar Ivan I. The system has gone through a number of changes, from state monopoly to private alcohol licenses. It is the later system which was adopted in the 1920s as part of the liberalization of the economy. Any sale of hard alcohol required an annual renewed license, with its price based on the scope of sales. The intent of the law is to both regulate alcohol markets and raise state revenue from it. Temperance movement has kept calling for reduced licenses and, in general, limiting the sale of alcohol. While the producers generally prefer lax relaxations and easier licenses, the opponent of the devil's drink do make good points. Alcohol is proven to have increased crime and drive the poorest Russians into poverty, but its effect on the economy is also great. Many peasants gain extra revenue through vodka sales, and if the supply of vodka is reduced, it would only create a new black market. Besides, the more vodka is sold, the more the state gains revenue. Some have proposed having support beer breweries over vodka, as it seems even milder and a less harmful drink. So we go into the factory, increase the price, we get political power. I think preferential treatment for beer, 30 political power for like 5% stability is a trade I'd make any day of the week. But I'll say that another deal I'll make right now is a deal with you to end this episode today, so you can come back tomorrow. So if you enjoyed it, thumbs up. Not enjoying, click some down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.